the weather. What are you making of this at the moment in Sydney?
Yeah, it's not quite like Melbourne, but yeah, it's certainly been a change from last winter in Sydney. It's definitely a lot more torrential, that's for sure.
I guess it ties into some of the issues with the surface, which is concerning some fans ahead of the weekend. How confident are you that everything will be okay at the SCG?
Yeah, I mean, as a player, I've got full faith in the club and the SCG Trust, AFL. I think they're working really collaboratively at the moment and throughout this week to make sure it's cherry right.
What did you notice on the weekend in terms of how tough it was to maybe keep your footing?
Look, it wasn't ideal, but as a player, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just thinking about the contest at hand. I think it's something probably looking back, there's little moments where people are slipping over and whatnot, but that's going to happen when it's dewy and Friday night footy. But I thought the contest generally from the game was a real spectacle that I thought fans got to enjoy, and as a player, I certainly enjoyed playing in that game.
Another big game from you. How happy are you with your form over the last 6 weeks or so? What's been the catalyst, I guess, for this lift in your output?
It's probably been a focus on just my process, to be honest. I know that sounds quite generalised, and I won't bore people with the details of it, but just acknowledgement of what makes me the player I am, and continuing to reinforce that and put an emphasis on that during the week and during the game.
Have you noticed many dramas with the ground over no teams obviously spent more time on it playing or training than you guys over a period of time? There's been like 3 clubs where players have said it's not great.
Okay.
But the trust has been saying that the feedback from the players has actually been pretty solid.
Has there been players that have said that publicly?
Actually, Toby Green came out on a podcast and said he actually wore metal studs in one of the games because it was so bad.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the question there? Sorry.
Have you noticed the extent of the kind of dramas that they seem to be talking about from your experience training and playing?
I mean, not really. I think we play on it and well, not every week, but train on it pretty much most weeks. Have been for the last sort of 6 to 8 weeks, and it's our home, so we're pretty used to it. Was it ideal on Friday night? No, but like I said, I think I'm looking forward to playing there this week, and I think we're out on the Tramway Oval today, which we had been for the first 1 to 6 rounds. Hopefully, that gives the ground an opportunity to freshen up, and I know we're looking forward to a really solid contest against the Dockers this week.
Do you think the complaints from rival clubs and a lot of the criticism that commentators have been making over the past few days, do you feel it's a bit of hysteria? Do you think it's a bit overhyped?
I mean, like I said, was referring to around, I suppose, like my form, and what I'm focusing on is my individual process and the process of the team. And I'm not across, nor I should be, the commentary of those in the media talking about the conditions of the ground. I'm really focused on playing great footy and trying to help the side at the Swans.
Your form right now, you've got a couple of All-Australian Blazers. How does this form that you're in right now compare to perhaps the best you've produced in the past in your eyes?
Yeah, I'm not projecting or looking, past each week, to be honest. So I'm taking it a week at a time, to be honest, and trying to execute my role to a high standard. And if that culminates in whatever that will be, I'm just measuring my success on executing my role for the team.
Do you feel like you're playing some of the best footy of your career right now, though, over the past 6 weeks or so?
I think I've been playing a consistent brand of football, and I think that's all any player really wants is consistency. Whether I've had the highs of previous years, I think is questionable. I think what I am focusing on and what I am measuring my output on is a really strong consistency, and I think that's something that I've been able to do the last 5 weeks.
Are you an observer of ruck form in the comp, outside of yourself? Do you observe a Max or a Tristan Xerri or Darcy Cameron? Do you watch how they're going and see sort of what the status of the best rucks in the game is season to season? Yeah,
I'm a very competitive person, so I'm always, it'd be silly if you've been in the competition as long as I have, and you're not looking at what other players are doing, and that's forms part of best practice in terms of preparing to play elite football. Is looking at what your matchup is week by week, and looking to exploit that as much as you can, or match it. And I've got a massive task this week, and the team does this week, personally and team wide around the Dockers this week. So yeah, really trying to narrow our focus on that preparation, and that's a big part of it. Is that mental, tactical preparation is what's I feel has been a really solid part of my game this year.
How big is it having Errol and Tom back? The troops that I guess you guys have been waiting for to across the second half of the season to come back and sort of help you with this last push.
Yeah, I mean Errol's obviously he's a couple All-Australian jackets. I don't know if he's a couple better than Ferris, but he's obviously don't need to talk about the quality of player he is, but just I think what I've noticed having him around the midfield and just our ball use, helping us off half back, he just runs so hard. So he's obviously been a welcomed inclusion, and Tom Papley's energy in the forward half, whether that's on the ball, off the ball, lifting the fans, lifting his teammates. He's a real fire starter for us, and we're a much better side when they're in it.
Are you surprised how good, not that Errol was, but coming back from such a pretty gruesome injury, he looked tip-top straight away?
Yeah, I mean, that's a credit to Errol and the professional that he is. I was talking earlier around preparation, elite preparation, whether that's mental, physical, emotional. Errol taps into all parts of those domains of high performance, and I was not surprised that he's retaining the condition that he has.
What do you make of the Dockers dual ruck setup? It's a little bit different perhaps than what it was. Jackson goes on ball a bit now, and they seem to be linking it together better than they ever have.
Yeah, I wish I was going on ball when I was at Melbourne with Gorney. That would have been nice. But mate, they make it work exceptionally well for their side, and Luke Jackson's a special player, being able to play pretty much anywhere, and Darcy is he's an elite quality ruckman as well. So. I think the proof's in the pudding for their side. They've been able to contribute really strongly. I thought they played really well last week, and work will be cut out for me this week.
So you touched on it there. Do you think you could have played a similar role at Gorn at Melbourne?
Who knows? I'm really happy here at the Swans, and I'm loving my time here.
How big is this game? I mean, hope's still there that you can go on a run and perhaps be around the mark for the 8 at the end of the season. Where are they sitting right now after Friday night? In terms of the hopes of what can be.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, there's a reality to where we sit right now, and you've got to be frank about that. Having said that, there's tremendous opportunity for us, and we've got a lot of belief internally about what our best football looks like, as do many teams. But it's about being ultra consistent, and we're going to need to do that for the back end of the year.
Do you look at this game as a bit of a potential 8-point swing, given the Dockers are in that sort of bottom half of the top 8, and you're knocking on the door, or trying to at least?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it in that framing, but I think clearly we've got to leave no stone really unturned for the rest of the season. So yeah, whether it's this week, the following week, we've just got to be in tip-top shape every time that we put on our jumper and run out there.
Joel, a chance to play. Have you spoken to him or observed where's he at in terms of?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but he seems to be, running around with a smile on his face this morning. So, if you're brave enough to front the conditions, you should be able to get some footage of him out there today.
You got a fair ruckman as your coach. How big's Dean Cox been for you in terms of your form this season?
Oh, he's been amazing, and even John Longmire since I come over, a big part of, I suppose, encouraging me to just play to my strengths and giving me trust. I think that's probably been a real catalyst for me, and giving me that autonomy to shape that role. And I've had a great mentor in Dean, who's had 5 or 6 All-Australians. He likes to let us know about that. And he's a great mentor and a great friend.